Hello everyone. I just wanted to take a few minutes here to introduce you to a drawing, painting, and sketching application that is free that I just recently discovered. I've used it just a little bit. It's called Firealpaca, and I will put a link in the description to the download. It's pretty nice. Has a lot of features. Of course, I think it is, if I was going to compare it to something, it might be like Paint Tool Sci. Um, Paint Tool Sci is something I actually am considering getting too. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Tried it out a little bit, but anyway, this is called Firealpaca, and it's really nice. Lawn System Resources has some good tools. Of course, it is limited on the brushes, but let's go ahead and I'm going to open up a new document here, and of course you have your options here for your width and height and everything like that, and so on and so forth. Okay, I have the grids turned on, so you do have that option, and I believe that's under the view here, and I'll just go ahead and turn those grids off so they're there if you need them. Let's go ahead and talk about the interface a little bit. Of course, you can see your typical tools that you have in most of your drawing and painting applications, and those are draggable, so you can move them around wherever you want to. Let's see, here we've got the palette, and I'm just going to drag that right on top of my color, and when I do that, it creates tabs so I can switch if I want to free up some more space. You have your brush preview here. You can resize these windows. Here's my brush dialog, and initially the it only comes with 3 brushes, which is the pen, pencil, airbrush. I guess it's more than 3. Pen, pencil, and 2 airbrushes, watercolor and blur, Firealpaca, and eraser. Anything after that is all something I've downloaded. I don't remember where I got the extra brushes to load in here. So you can just Google that and search for those brushes yourself. Then of course we've got our toolbar up here. I just drag that out, and then I usually, if I'm drawing in FireAlpca here, I like to grab my toolbar and put it up there. Now, after you move this stuff around, if you want to go back to the default way things were arranged in the window, you can go to Window, and then you can see the option here for Initialize, and you'll have this window pop up that says Initialize window position. I'm going to say OK, and that set everything back to the default. The navigation window here is pretty nice. Used like pretty much most navigation windows are used in most drawing painting applications. You have your zoom and your zoom out, and then you have a third icon here which will, let me just draw something on in the window here. Make sure I have one thing I have noticed. I'm not drawing here for some reason. Opacity's up. Oh, I gotta choose a pen now. Okay. Can zoom in, and if I need to reset that view, of course the third icon there is to reset that view. You have your canvas rotation, and then the center icon there is to reset that. Of course, most of these things can be done up here through your menu up here up top. And there are some shortcut keys, and I'll cover that just a little bit. I don't know them all yet, but you have a little icon here to flip your image. Of course, your layers, and I just got the new version. Went from, I believe this is 10 or 1.043. I'm not sure what's new in here. You have some options over here. Of course, your opacity, and then you have your blending modes on your layers. There's about 4 of them, which is pretty good, especially if you're going to use Firealpaca to do your inking and coloring. Down at the bottom here, you can create new layers, delete layers, merge them down. I'm not going to go into detail on that because I really don't know a whole lot about it yet. You do have some perspective tools up here, and I am not sure how to use them, so I'm not even going to attempt to tell you how to use them. I'll just share what I do know about it. Okay, let's say I've got let's see, this diagonal perspective guides on here. There's also here in this little menu, there's a dot there or a button there, and if I hit that, then I can reorient these guides. Let's do a grid here. I guess that one's not. I guess you can't reorient that one. So here's the radial guide, and I'll just place it there in the middle, and then I can use that to draw some perspective lines. You could, I guess, do this in draw out your perspective guides and then create another layer on top of that to do your drawing. But when your guides are on, it automatically is going to snap to those guides. It does actually, your pen or stylus or brush does not have to be right on top of the guide. You can draw alongside the guide. We'll just do something like this here. Anyway, you can just play with that. If I want to turn those off, I can just turn those off, and then I've got some guides there. Those of you who know how to use guides, if you want to leave a comment or maybe you want to download this and give it a try, and then let me know how to use the guides, I would be glad to do a video on using those guides. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clear this palette here, or the canvas. I'm going to go Control A, Control X to delete, and then Control D to deselect. I'm sure there's a way to do that up here in the menu. Let's see. Oh yeah, one nice little thing here. You can see this little drop down here for correction. If darken that color up. And also I need to mention that it works great. FireAlpaca works great with my tablet. I have the Wacom Intuos 5 Touch. Okay, line correction. You have some settings here to create smooth lines. So I had it on 0. Let's go ahead and draw a line out with 0 and just make it kind of squiggly. Now if I turn on my correction, let's turn it all the way up to about 19 there. You can see it kind of smooths that out. So you could do some inking in this application. It's pretty nice. We've got, of course, there are shortcut keys for all these. You've got your pen tool here, and then we've got the eraser, and then you've got a pixel brush up here. I'm not sure what the pixel brush is used for, so if somebody knows or maybe has a suggestion for what it's used for, let me know. Go ahead and turn that correction off. Just draw out a shape here. Or instead of just sketching it out like that, we'll just skip over here and use this tool right here to draw out different shapes. Once you click on that tool, you have your options over here. Just drawing an ellipse. It doesn't have the option to just, at least that I've found, to create just an outline. That would be really handy if it did. I guess if you're drawing out a rectangle here, it has an option for a rounded corner. Let's just see what happens if we use that. Oh well, okay. Oh, I guess I gotta put a check in the check box there, don't I? Yeah. There we go. So, could be really useful. This button here for anti-aliasing. You have a forward and backward buttons there. Of course, is for your undo and redo. Let's draw out another shape here. And of course, you have your move tool, so you can move around whatever's on a layer, which is pretty handy. We have our selection. I can just draw a selection around there, and then if I want to move just that selection, I can do so. Then you'll have to Control D to deselect that. Of course, you have your magic wand, and then you have paint select, which I have not used a whole lot. So guys, feel free, guys and gals, feel free to experiment with that. So basically what you'll do to paint select is choose your paint selection tool, and then I'll just paint a selection around this rectangle here, and then I'll switch to the marquee select, and you can see that you have a painted selection here. Then I think this erase selection tool will take some of that selection away. I'm not sure. I don't really know. So if somebody can figure that out and let me know how to use it, be great. Let's go ahead and deselect that. Of course, you have your text tool here, eyedropper, and your hand tool also to just kind of move around. Of course, the color dropper is to pick colors, and let's go back to the brush tool. The shortcut key for your color picker is the Alt key. Let's see. Okay. In your brush preview window over here, if you will, let's see here. Go ahead and drag my brush size up to about here. If I click on that brush preview, it resets it to the default size. Of course, under that window, we have our brush control, which the top slider here is for your brush size. The bottom slider is for your opacity. So let's go ahead and put that back over here. Let's see. One discovery I made: if I'm using a brush and I'm painting along here, let's turn that opacity back up here and switch to the pen tool. By the way, the shortcut key to resize your brush is Control and Alt and then drag. I don't know what the shortcut key is for the opacity. But anyway, what was I talking about here? I don't remember. Okay, I don't know why. Let's turn the opacity all the way up on our pen tool. There we go. Oh yeah, okay. I remember what I was talking about now. If I hold my Z key while I'm painting, it will automatically switch to the eraser tool, which that's really handy. Let's see here. Is there really anything else I can tell you? Of course, under all these, under this menu up here, you have all your shortcut keys are listed there, and I don't think they're they are changeable, at least not at this point. If they are and somebody knows about it, let me know. Just drew out a marquee selection. I forgot to mention the gradient tool here, and you can create a gradient. So like I say, I'm really new to this tool. I did just notice something else. When you have your gradient tool selected, you have some other options over here. You can change your the gradient type: foreground, background, linear, to circular. So that's pretty good. I'm going to switch back to the pen tool here, and we'll look up here at the menu. The snap option. These are the under snap. These options here are your perspective line tools. One thing that really disturbs me is that when you have your grid, this grid turned on, not the view grid, when you have this perspective tool turned on, that you can't just, it's always going to snap to whatever tool that you have active, which is handy, but I wish you could just draw freely and keep your while you have those tools up. Let's see here. Color, of course, you can change. Now, this color tool here, you can switch to the wheel by going to the color menu here and switch over to that. I usually prefer the color bar. I don't know why. I used to always use the wheel here, which is great. Whichever you use, of course, is just a matter of preference. You can play around with these brushes. There are two different airbrushes there. The blur tool works really good. Let's see here. Yeah, with my recording software going and trying to use the blur tool, it seems to slow it down. That's the first. I've never had a crash when I'm using this tool, so I really a little disappointed that I can't use my blur when I'm using my recording software. Watercolor works pretty nice. You can use that to do some blending. Let's see here, blend these two colors. Yeah, that works. And then you could go back in there with your blur tool. There isn't a smudge tool that I'm aware of. I would like to see that be added here. But FireAlpaca overall for free is really good. Oh yeah, let me clear this canvas again and show you something else, a tool that I really like. Let's just switch back to my pen tool here and paint something in right quick. Something really handy. If I have a shape painted in here on a layer, and I go in here and marquee select this, when that's selected, I can move around this selection. Also, I have the option to use an ellipse, polygon, and lasso selection there. Pardon me. Also, if I use the hotkey Control T, or you can also find it under the select here, the transform. Now you've got a transformation tool from the selection you just made. So I can scale this and I can resize it, which is really nice. There's not a free form selection. You can also rotate. You'll just have to watch your your icon here to determine what action is. Pardon me again. Anyway, when you get done with your transformation tool, down here in the status bar area, you can say OK. And after you say OK, it goes back to that selection, and then you can either go up here to deselect, or you can use Control D to deselect. Something else I wanted to touch on right quick was a little bit of canvas navigation through hotkeys. If I hold my Control and Alt, let's go back to the pen tool here. If I hold my Control and Alt, I can resize my pen or brush by Control, Alt, and dragging. By the way, FireAlpaca does work on Mac also, I believe. I don't think there's a Linux version. I think it's just Windows and Mac. Okay, if I hold my Control key and the space bar, and now I can hold my stylus to the tablet here and drag up and down to zoom in and out. which is really nice. Alt and space bar is to rotate the canvas, and that's a huge deal. Canvas rotation, I'll be glad when GIMP gets that, because I could sure use that in GIMP. If I just hold the space bar, I can move my canvas around. So again, that was Control and Alt to resize your brush. Control space bar to zoom in and out. Alt and space bar to rotate the canvas. And then to reset those, of course, you can use your navigation window to reset those. And then so now the reset may be, let's see what the zoom in and zoom out. Of course, you have your fit window size there. Oh yeah, you can have a transparent background if you need it, and that's changed to the view menu here. Let's see if there's something here. Of course, you have your bucket fill tool and select eraser. I think I've just about covered everything. There's something I haven't tried to use, but create selection from layer opacity, create selection from layer brightness. I haven't tried that yet. Layer, you have the option to add an 8-bit layer. You have you can change your hue and saturation and your levels here, so that's always a good thing. So it's really a nice, it's not Photoshop and it's not GIMP, but for just drawing and sketching, Firealpaca is pretty nice, for free especially. Let's see, what else were we going to look at over here? Okay, the save as. If I want to do a save as, you have your default format there, which is MDP, and then you also have a PSD, BMP, JPEG, and PNG also. I did a little test with the PSD. I exported an image with a couple of layers on it to PSD, and then I was able to import that and open it up in GIMP, and the layers were still there. So if you want to do your sketching here in Firealpaca and then take it over into GIMP for your coloring or whatever, you can use a PSD file to do that. Pardon me again. Basically, I think oh yeah, something else I probably should have mentioned. I keep remembering different things. Like I say, I'm still new to using this tool, so I don't know everything about it, and I don't think there's a lot of documentation on it. You can create your own brushes and use, you may take a look at this little menu down here and maybe up here also, and if somebody wants to start using Firealpaca, maybe I will start a Google Plus group or blog or forum or something, and we can discuss these tools, and then we can figure out how to make our own brushes and trade brushes and share our brushes. So basically, I think I've covered quite a bit. Of course, like I say, if I missed something, I apologize. If you are a FireAlpaca user and you know a little bit more about something here, please feel free to leave a comment or let us know a little bit more about this application, and because I sure do find it interesting. But like I say, I am considering purchasing Paint Tool SI. I've experimented around with it before, so it seems pretty nice. I think it was Paint Tool SI I messed around with. I don't know. I've tried so many different ones. Pretty often I use the GIMP and Sketchbook Pro. Sketchbook Pro is probably just about got it all. It's really nice. But this is FireAlpaca. Let me mention one thing. I didn't intend for this video to be this long, but once I got into it, I just keep going. You can open up a second image here. Let's just open another new one, and you have these tabs up here to switch back and forth. If there's a way to open both of those at the same time, so what I mean is if I could have two windows open here, I could actually put my reference in one and then draw on the other one. That would be nice. I guess I could bring in reference on a different layer and then kind of move it and turn the opacity down. I guess you could do it that way. But anyway, I'm going to really cut off this video here, and if you are looking for a drawing or sketching application, the link will be in the description. And if you like this video, please give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe. And this is Johnny Bevo here, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.